Hey guys, what's up? It's me, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to draw Beard from Hotline Miami 2. This was requested by Oshboss, so thank you for the request, and I hope you enjoy the video. So today's drawing tutorial, all you really need is a simple pencil, mechanical regular, and an eraser. So let's get started, gamers. Now what I want you to do, first off, is to find a good spot on your paper, and then make the neck for Beard. We're going to make him where he's wearing a hoodie, and underneath that hoodie, he's wearing like this neat shirt. And around the neck, go ahead and start making the collars of that shirt. And for the neck, we're actually going to make a necklace. Now, he does have a dog tag necklace, but since I'm starting the drawing on the bottom of the paper, I won't have room to make the actual tags. So what I did is just make the little circles for the necklace right there. And that's basically it for the sketch portion of the bottom. Now we're going to go off to the actual head, which is pretty much like an upside down egg shape, if you will. So yeah guys, I never played Hotline Miami 2, wrong number, so, you know, if you played it, let me know. I actually never played Hotline Miami 1. I just really like the concept of both games, and I really like the art style, especially for the advertisements. I do enjoy the neon pink and, you know, neon blue art style that they use for the posters to advertise the game. It's pretty cool. I just like the overall feel of the game. You know, people wearing varsity jackets and masks and going around shooting Russian mafia guys. I think that's really cool. But yeah, this Beard character is very interesting, and I actually had a lot of fun drawing with him. Hopefully you will too. Now we're actually finishing up with the head. Now, down below on the chin, you will see a line right there. That's where I just, I put that there to indicate where I'm going to put his chin at. And I made a line right dab in the middle to indicate where I'm going to put his nose. And I'm making, I need to get some more lead on my pencil. Now that line right there is just going to indicate the bottom of his mouth. And the line above is going to indicate the top of his mouth. And that line above that one is actually going to indicate his nose. So you got 3 little lines, well 4 lines if you count the chin. And then 1 line which is basically going, 1 little dot which is going to indicate where I'm going to put his glasses. And pretty much where his eyes are going to be. And I just elongated that line to across the egg shape that we just made. And I went ahead and elongated the head. You'll probably really have to make changes with the sizes too, which is always good to make those changes before, you know, in the sketch, before you actually go, you know, making bigger changes, so you won't have more mistakes to make. I mean, more mistakes to erase. So right there, I'm making the lips and the mouth. Now this guy has some grimy looking lips, and his teeth. We're going to make his teeth. He literally has like 4 teeth to make. Yeah, this guy, either he doesn't have a good dentist, or he just got punched in the mouth a lot. That's why a lot of his teeth are missing. He looks like a really grimy dude. Now we're making the lip. Now we're finishing off the lip, and we're going on attaching to the nose area. Which, interesting enough, that nose, like the bottom of the nose, kind of looks like a little joyful mouth, if you can see. And then we're just finishing up on the base nose area. It's going to go in the center of the little cross symbol that we made for the face. Now, what I'm doing right there, as you can see, I'm actually making the outline of the glasses. Now, the glasses take a big portion of this guy's face. And they're pretty simple to make, actually. Now, this is kind of a realistic portrait of Beard, but also kind of like in a artsy, cartoonish style, if you will. Kind of reminds me of like a comic-esque style. But yeah, this guy looks like he's chilling with some nice shades here. We just need to spiff them up a bit. Make them a little bit 3-dimensional like I am doing right there. Now we're making the outlines where, the glass panels will be for his eyes. Now these glasses are actually kind of broken on the left side. Of course, make some wrinkles right there. This guy seems to be in his, like, I would say maybe 20s or 30s or something. He looks kind of like a young, older kind of guy. Now we're making his big eyeballs. This guy got some big eyes. Not too big. You don't want to make them as big as the glasses. But yeah, those are that's his left eye right there. Now his right eye, the right side of his glasses is a bit screwed up. The glass panel in the right side actually is punched out. There's like a big hole in it. So we're going to make some broken glass. That'll be fun. Now we're making the eye. The eye looks really strained and kind of veiny a little bit. And then right above there, I just went ahead and made the eyebrow. The eyebrows are actually covered really well. The glasses cover the eyebrows really well. And for the eye, for the actual people, just make a circle. And within that, make another circle and color it black. Now we're going to do the basic same thing for the right one. But we're going to make an outline. First, what I want you to do is make an outline where it looks like there's like broken glass. I want you to do that first and then make the eye last because it'll be much easier doing it that way. That's how I did it. Anyways, you can do it in a different way. But this way that I did was much easier on me. So he has a few more wrinkles around his eye than he does the left one. And of course, the same thing for, what we did for the left eye. Just make a one circle and another circle and just darken it with black. Now, there's like two little circles that I make below the black eye to like simulate kind of like shine or like some light shining on the eyes itself, Added that extra flare. Now he has a little few wrinkles right there on his forehead. I actually darkened up too much, so I erased it and redid that really quickly. Now, you can see that our beard, he doesn't have a beard, but don't worry, be patient. And speaking of the devil, we're actually forming his beard right now. Now, what I do for my for making hair on characters is just make nice wavy lines, and these wavy lines need to kind of like connect to each other, and they need to end at a certain point on the face. They can't just keep going, And basically, once you get the hang of it, you can start forming like kind of like a pattern and a wave, make some like different kind of forms and shapes with these hairs to make like mustaches and, in this case, beards, or different hairstyles, if you will. It's a good thing to observe hair. Hair is really, it might look complicated to make, but honestly guys, it really isn't. It's just simple, and it's not really a tiring and slow process as you might think, making individual hairs like that. Honestly, it's kind of a quick process. All you really need to do is make nice, swift, easy lines, wavy lines, like I said before. And of course, they gotta you need to make sure that they kind of like go, stick to each other, and they, follow like a certain kind of pattern, if you will, throughout like around the face, and for example, like the mustache right there above the lips. So guys, you can pause this video at any time. Hopefully my commentary is actually helping you out. But yeah, it's really easy actually to make mustache beards. Now, I'm not saying that because I'm an artist and I might need more experience. But who knows? I mean, it's honestly easy, guys. I'm not just saying it because I'm an artist and it might be easy to me than to someone else that never really picked up a pencil and drew, but or ever draw before. Sorry. But actually, it's really easy to anybody, honestly. But yeah, if you're having trouble with it, don't worry about it. Honestly, you just take your time, and it really just takes time for, especially for artists who, perfect things. And if this takes you a long time, don't worry about it. It can be easy to me, but for some people it can be really hard for others, so I can understand that. But don't worry about it. You will get the hang of it eventually. If not soon enough. Now what I'm doing here, this guy right now looks to be, Heisenberg from Breaking Bad, so we're gonna have to add in some wavy hair lines here and there to make him look younger, because this guy does look younger, and we're gonna make a little hoodie for him. So yeah, now making wavy hair like this might be a little bit hard for some people, but it's really not, honestly. It's kind of simple, but I can understand if people are having a hard time with it. Just don't worry, you'll grasp it eventually. Just let your hand guide you through, just guide your hand through the tutorial, and it will become more simpler to you. What I would actually recommend, guys, is taking like a scrap piece of paper, or just a spare piece of paper in your sketchbook, and just practice making hair. Making hairlines and stuff like that. And you'll see, it's not that hard, but it does kind of take some practice. But if it is hard to you guys, don't worry. That doesn't mean you're bad. It just means you're starting out, and you just need some extra help and some, extra practice, time to practice, and that's fine. Practice makes perfect. So don't worry, guys. Don't get discouraged, and don't get discouraged if you're having a trouble time making this portrait. This is kind of a more complicated drawing, but that doesn't mean that you cannot do it. Anybody can do this. Just have patience. So right there, we're continuing on his hairline, making some more wavy hairs. So yeah, this guy has a messed up hairdo. And I think he's an actual soldier, or like a mercenary or something. I'm not too sure. I need to go into more deeper in Hotline Miami 2's story. Because I know in Hotline Miami 1, just this guy that gets these messages on his, on a phone or something, and he goes out and he kills these mobsters and stuff. For Hotline Miami 2, wrong number. I'm not really too sure. I'm just gonna have to look deep in that. But yeah, I'm interested in the story, but more in the characters. The characters are really interesting. So I'm continuing making the hair right there, and that hairline on the top is actually going to be kind of cut off with the hoodie that we're going to make later. Just finishing up on the top before we make the hoodie. But yeah, make sure you completed the whole beard around his face, and on the sides of his face, and on his beard area as well. On his chin area, I mean. Now, interesting enough, there's really not too many wrinkles or too many details to do with this guy on his forehead or on his cheeks or anything. Just some shading, which is kind of symmetrical in a way. The shading is. Kind of slanted and horizontal in a way. Now, what I'm doing here is making some wavy hair, some hairs that's actually sticking out from his hairline right there. So that's the only piece of hair that's actually going to be sticking out away from the hoodie itself. And as you can see, what I'm doing right there is making the hoodie. The hoodie has a few wrinkles in it. This is not an ultra realistic, photo, because if it was, there would be much more wrinkles and much more details on his face and on the hoodie and the clothing. But this is a much more simpler kind of picture, if you will. It still has a lot of detail, but not as much detail as you would in an actual photo. So yeah, darken any hairs that you might find along the way. Don't darken them too much, some shading right there to the side. And there's actually just, you know, shading around his, or on the sides of his face. It really just depends on your light source, or where it's coming from. So pay attention to your light source. And of course, there's going to be a lot of shading and a lot of dark tones around in the bottom of his glasses, and also around his face as well. That's where the most shading is concentrated at. Now, on his forehead, there's a lot of, like, you know, shading that's coming from, like, the droops of hair that we made on his forehead. And there's a little bit of shading on his glasses as well, the bottoms of his glasses. Not too much shading on the actual, like, panels of the eyes, like the actual glass panels and the eyes itself. Not really too much shading. As you can see, I'm starting on the shading of his forehead. They're kind of like made in kind of like these weird shapes. But yeah, make sure you're differentiating between, like, the hair and the actual shading, you know. And you can do that by, like, darkening the hair, adding in some more lighter base tones for the shading. Just so you differentiate. You don't want to make the shading look like the hair, you know. Make sure you get a lot of nice shading underneath the nose as well. And that's pretty much it. Not too much shading to do. Of course, you don't want to add too much shading. Too much shading will kill a drawing. Might not, you know, completely destroy it. It'll still probably look good, but you don't want too much shading, because that's one factor that will kind of ruin the drawing in a way. In a visual aspect, you know. Of course, guys, take breaks, you know. Yeah, it's good to take breaks and just look at it and make some changes as well. So, guys, that pretty much wraps it up. Of course, you can pause anywhere in the video to see where you miss, or if you missed the detail here and there. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoy this drawing tutorial. I sure did. Thank you, Osboss, once again for requesting this. Again, I take more requests, so guys, I will see you later.